Welcome D20 players. Let's take a look at the 2024 D&D Sorcerer. Got a preview here today, and I have on the right side of the screen here the very most recent playtest for the Sorcerer. Left side of the screen is the 2014 Sorcerer. Everything highlighted is different. If it's yellow, it's unconfirmed that it's been incorporated what's in the playtest. If it's green, confirmed what's incorporated in the playtest. So looking first at the Sorcerer table, we have quite a few new things here. Innate Sorcery at level 1, Metamagic moved from level 3 down to level 2. Sorcerer subclass came from level 1 up to level 3. Sorcerer's Restoration is new at level 5. Sorcery Incarnate, new at level 7. Ability score improvement will become an epic boon, like every other class, at level 19. And Arcane Apotheosis, replacing Sorcerer's Restoration at level 20, which that moved all the way down to level 5. Okay, let's look at the base class now for the Sorcerer. Innate Sorcery, a whole new feature. As a bonus action, you enter this status where you get +1 to this DC of your Sorcerer spell saves. Advantage on attack rolls of your Sorcerer spells. Duration was a minute in the playtest, not confirmed. You could use it twice in the playtest, not confirmed. That was twice per long rest. Level 1 spellcasting, this is confirmed that whenever you gain a Sorcerer level, you can replace one of your cantrips. In the playtest, they talked about how the Sorcerer spell list was all new, and it had a couple spells added, being Sorcerer's Burst and Arcane Eruption. That was not confirmed today. Level 2, Font of Magic remains level 2. Level 2, Metamagic moved to level 2. The Sorcerer subclass moved to level 3, confirmed like all other initial subclasses. Level 5, Sorcerer's Restoration, they didn't go into exactly the workings of it, but in the playtest it was when you roll initiative or finish a short rest and have no sorcery points remaining, you regain a number of those points equal to your sorcerer level divided by 5, round down. Level 7, Sorcery Incarnate, this was all confirmed. When your innate sorcery feature from first level is active, so a minute, twice per day, you can use up to 2 of your metamagic options on each casting of a spell. And in addition, if you have no uses of innate sorcery left, you can use it if you spend 2 sorcery points when you take the bonus action to activate it. And then finally, level 20, Arcane Apotheosis. Innate sorcery feature is active. You can use 1 metamagic option on each of your turns without spending a sorcery point on it. That was all they covered in the preview. Now there's, a lot of the inherent power of a sorcerer is in the metamagic options. There was some significant changes in those. Careful spell, distance spell, and powered spell, unchanged. Extended spell, if the effective spell requires concentration, you have advantage on saving throws. That was a big bonus. We'll see if that remains. Otherwise, not a lot of people took extended spell. Heightened spell being 2 sorcery points to cast. Quicken spell, you can't modify a spell in this way if you've already cast a spell of level 1 or higher on the current turn. We'll see. We haven't seen yet how bonus actions interact with spells in 2024. Seeking spell, 1 sorcery point. You make an attack roll for a spell and miss. You spend a sorcery point to re-roll and use the new roll. You can use that even if you have already used a different metamagic option during the casting of a spell. Subtle spell, included material components. Transmuted spell, 1 sorcery point. You cast a spell that deals a type of damage from the following list. You can spend 1 sorcery point to change it. Twin spell, this was a big one. 1 sorcery point. When you cast a spell such as Charm Person or Hold Person that can be cast with a higher level spell slot to target an additional creature, you can spend a sorcery point to increase the spell's effective level by 1. Okay, that was the base sorcerer class. Now, the subclasses that we have in 2024, we have the Aberrant Mind, we have the Clockwork, it'll be now Aberrant Sorcery, Clockwork Sorcery, Draconic Sorcery, and the last one being Wild Magic. So they talked a little bit about the 2 that came out of Tosh's, that being Aberrant Mind. Of course, the first level powers are changed up to 3rd. They have, these extra spells that they have automatically prepared. Then the other one being Clockwork Skull. And they didn't talk about anything on these 2 changing otherwise, although I'm sure there's little tweaks here and there, maybe even some power balancing in these ones. We'll have to wait and see in the player's handbook. So those 2 mostly ported over the same. Then we come to Draconic Sorcery. Of course, level 3 now. They talked about the hit point maximum, the armor class bonuses, although they didn't go into details. They didn't mention Dragon Speech. They did say at level 3 you have Draconic spells added. Maybe that replaces Dragon Speech. So you're going to have spells just like the Clockwork and the Aberrant. And they mentioned a couple of those spells at level 3 being Dragon's Breath, at level 9 being Summon Dragon. Level 6, Elemental Affinity, you no longer have to spell a sorcery point to use this one. This is one of the few changes from the current sorcerer. So let's look at the Draconic sorcerer before. Yeah, you used to have to spend a sorcery point to gain that resistance. Now you don't have to. You just choose one of the types of damage. You get resistance to that damage type. When you cast a spell that deals damage of that type, you can add your charisma modifier to one of the damage rolls. Level 14, Dragon Wings. They didn't go into the details here, but they did indicate they'll be faster and a limited number of uses. So currently at 14th level, you have Dragon Wings all the time. You gain a flying speed equal to your current speed. And again, they'll be faster and limited uses. No details otherwise provided, though. At 18th level, you had a thing called Draconic Presence. That seems like it's being replaced by Dragon Champ or Companion, where you can cast the Summon Dragon without its costly component, so that's confirming the costly component's still there in those spells. You can do it without a slot once per long rest. You can do it, a version of it that has no concentration, but probably a shorter duration. No indication of if Draconic Presence as written is still there in addition to Dragon Companion. I'd guess it's not. Okay, now we come to Wild Magic Sorcery. And a lot of the details of this one is really in the Wild Magic table, but they did confirm, everything's moving to level 3. Tides of Chaos, you can choose when to use it. No longer do you have to wait for the DM's permission. So you automatically roll in the Wild Magic Surge table and regain the use of this feature. Level 18, Wild Bombardment has been renamed Tamed Surge. And with that, they didn't go into details, but you create an effect of your choice from the Wild Magic Surge table, except the last choice is not included in those choices. That was one that gave you a lot of all your spell points, all your sorcery points back. They do say you have to make any die rolls that are inside the choices. And they talked about how they revise stuff and put things together, like all the summoned things to be together. So I don't know if that means that you would pick summon and then you roll randomly, see what you summoned. We'll see when we get the player's handbook. And they also indicate instead of it being 1d4 long rest to get it back, you get it back once per long rest. And then the big change here for the Wild Magic is that the Wild Magic Surge table has been revised with many more results mostly beneficial to the Wild Magic Sorcerer, some not beneficial to anyone. Very few harmful ones remain. And as part of that, they do not get the additional spells that the other subclasses for Sorcerer get. So their additional spells are built into their Wild Magic usage. That is the Sorcerer for the 2024 Player's Handbook. I think a lot of its power is going to be wrapped up in its Metamagic options, and we haven't seen those yet. So hopefully we'll see them soon. They have not posted anything yet on D&D Beyond, and maybe they'll have something in the article in that regard. Hopefully we'll see that. Thanks for watching. I will see you all next time.